What up, podcast fans? This is Enough Said Podcast. We are season 1, episode 9, and we are excited to be back as we're making our way through the NFL playoffs here. We have the usual suspects with us. I'm going to start with this guy. You know, the parents get on him when he coaches because he doesn't give them equal play. He just flips him the bird and lets him walk right away. Ladies and gentlemen, Jermaine, what's going on, buddy?
What's up? What's up? Big microphone. What's up, Mike? What's up, Sal?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
What's up?
Right.
What's up?
Ellie,
Big Mike.
what's going
Microphone.
Number 2, we got the guy, my friend since kindergarten. We'll just say when it rains, he takes his shirt off and sits in the car with Jermaine, which his wife thinks is gay. But he's a good friend and his name is Dre. What up, buddy?
Yeah, shut up, man. What's up? I'll tell you. That's how you introduced? Okay.
Turn off. You just turn off, Dre.
Yeah, I guess so. You in the passenger seat with me?
MC Sal today.
Oh,
I don't recall.
Look, man, I don't know what you guys do when you're on vacation down the shore. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just kind of waiting that one out. But, you know, all I say is I heard about this story with shirt on. All right, this next guy needs no introduction. I'm just going to say this.
Kick was down the middle and good. 49ers win it.
What a day to be a 49ers fan. It couldn't be finer. Mike, you are a happy man today. What's going on, buddy?
I am happy indeed. What's up? What's up?
You're
What's
breaking
up?
up.
Mike?
You're breaking up.
So, how's that for an introduction?
Gotcha.
Hey, Sal, wonderful, man. And I just want to start off real fast with I had to DVR the game last night, so you guys were blowing up the text messages. I ignored it, and I watched this game entirely. I actually got finished the game 4:30 this morning. And let's just start off with this from the recap. We got to go right away to the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. And I was holding this in, and I'm going to say it was not a miracle. It was not a well, they had no business being, winning it. I'm going to say from what I saw, it was a football team. Remember, they got special teams and they have defense. And that's who won the game for them was the special teams, man. I'm telling you, man, that was the most – I mean, when I was watching that game, they went up 7-0 real quick, Green Bay. And the way the morale looked, they're like, oh, man, 49ers is just, nothing. And all of a sudden, it's just getting worse and worse. Like, nothing from the offense can really go. And I was like, you telling me that these guys, well, it looks like Green Bay's is going to win. 49ers are like Sal said, like last week when we were talking, like 49ers might be gassed out. But no, man, they had the immaculate reception. I'm talking about against the other. No, I'm sorry, that was another game. Sorry, I'm all confused. But anyway, it was amazing how 49ers pulled that off with the block punt and scored on that on the TD. They also had the block field goal, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
The block field goal, and they pulled that out and won that game. And I'm going to say this, man. When I saw Aaron Rodgers walking off the field looking disgusted, he ain't come back to Green Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Jermaine and I were just talking about that. We were just saying, I think Rodgers is out. He might be out of football. He might not go anywhere. I mean, if he's not going to get Tom Brady going to the Bucs type situation where you got a ready-made team, just needs a good quarterback. If he can't go to some situation like that, I think he's done.
Yeah, and just to finish off, Mike, man, I know you went to sleep with your San Francisco blanket on, your thumb in your mouth, and the fetal position, just happy as warm as can be. Waking up this morning to a victory, man. Congrats, 49ers.
Yeah.
You guys deserved that win. I'm sorry, you deserved it.
And give credit to Jimmy G. I mean, give this guy, he keeps getting them down the field when they need to. He may throw a couple of passes here and there that infuriate people, but when the chips are down and he needs to get it, the guy gets it done, Mike.
He somehow does play better under pressure. It's still the only thing. And my buddy was getting on me because I tested him, and he's like, "Man, congratulations!" And I'm like, "Yeah, but it didn't need to come to that." And he's like, "Just be happy." I was like, "I can," but I know if Jimmy G don't make those kind of mistakes, or the team doesn't make the mistakes they make, the games don't need to be this close.
Mhm.
This game was, the defense was lights out, and then the offense would get to the red zone and then make a mistake. It was a turnover. Then you had, Elijah Mitchell had the face mask, and then Trent Williams had the false start, and next thing you know, they're backed up, and then they end up having to put, miss out a field goal because the fourth down play. I don't know what they call that fourth and one play. That really burned me up. But it's like in the Cowboys game. They came out pretty hot. They looked like they had all momentum, and then next thing you know, they kind of let them right back into the game. So it's always just kind of like, man, if they could just play a complete game from start to finish and everything's working together, I think you'll see a real impressive show. But a W's a W, so I'm glad they keep winning. If it's going to win ugly the whole way, if it's still a win, it is what it is. I just want them to keep winning.
Jermaine, does this mean the Howie trades first 3-round draft picks for Jimmy Garoppolo?
I seriously doubt it. I pray not, So, but no, just like what Mike said, just to piggyback on what he was saying, is that basically it was an ugly game, and San Fran knows how to win ugly. Apparently, these top elite teams do not know how to play ugly, and it was, and it came down to the special teams. But I'm gonna take it a little step further. I mean, just looking at that game and just getting ready for the podcast and everything. Nothing taken away from San Fran. They came in there, and just like I was saying, this San Fran team is the New York Giants back when they came in and they rolled towards the end of the season. They rolled off hot and won the Super Bowl. But just to take it back, I mean, what are your guys' opinion on that game last night as far as Aaron Rodgers? I'm looking at that. If you shut down Devontae Adams. And yeah, Devontae still got his, but he was very quiet, and so was Aaron Rodgers was very quiet in the second half. You know what I mean? A lot of that got to do with the defense, but it was just all Devontae. If Devontae Adams didn't show up, this game really would have got ugly. I mean, there's no other wide receiver on the other end. Aaron Lazard had one catch last night. Devontae Adams, I said, wait a minute. I said, what is going on here? So in other words, how did they really get to this part? How did Green Bay get to where they was at? Because yes, it was all Devontae Adams, but they don't have another wide receiver help. They didn't have a tight end. I mean, they was counting on Randall Cobb coming back. He didn't do anything. I think one catch out of those three between the tight end and the two other wide receivers. I mean, I don't. What do you guys think?
Well, for me, I have to really look back at the whole season. But from I'm just going by what I remember. Look, I have games sporadic in my mind right now from this season. Let me back up. Last night the game plan was one dimensional. Okay, yeah, it was just Devontae Adams, and that's it. Rob was a non-existent. And Mercedes screwed up, that fumble. But I think from what I'm saying sporadic, when I'm going back in my mind, looking at the whole of the season, they had defense help. They had defensive help from what I remember seeing. The defense kept them in there all the time. And then they will actually get a big lead ahead, so they didn't really have to worry about really too much on offense besides trying to get it to somebody else. I mean, but I think their game plan last night was wrong. They were one dimensional. And I the offensive line was okay, but throughout the season they were better. I think that also gave Aaron Rodgers a lot of time to get to Devontae a lot during the whole season. So I just think they just didn't have the right game plan to just have one dimension, one guy to win it all. Well, they had Jones.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Aikman said it during the broadcast. He was just like, "There's only two people that showed up for Green Bay. It was Adams and Devontae. Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, and that was it. And then on the defense, the one guy who bull rushed Tom Compton 4 or 5 times and kept getting around him, he showed up because he got some good sacks. But
yeah,
San Fran's defense just really did an excellent job of making someone else from Green Bay step up, and that didn't happen. They would bracket Devontae Adams. He's good enough; he's going to get open. But that's what they did. I think the one thing that stood out a lot from that game, I thought Kyle Shanahan did really good time management at the end. The first time they played Green Bay earlier this year, they got the lead, but they gave Aaron Rodgers like 40 seconds to get down the field, and then they kicked the game-winning field goal. And this time around, they were like, no, we're getting the game-winning field goal, or no one's getting it. And they managed the clock really good at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to say his name because the dude is just ridiculous. Deebo Samuels is just, I don't know what to say, man. I knew he's been impressive. I mean, I've been watching him for years, and I knew it was special. But to see what he's been doing this season, he's been everywhere. I mean, he was running back kicks last night.
There's no answers. There's no answers for Deebo.
Just put 3 letters on it. MVP. Yeah. Just put 3 letters on it. MVP. He has to be MVP this year. I'm sorry.
MVP of what? The NFL?
Yeah. This year. Okay. Absolutely.
I mean,
if they win the Super Bowl, if they went to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, it's no question he's MVP.
Yeah, I give him votes, but you got too many other people that's up there.
Like who?
One Tom Brady, one for Aaron Rodgers, one for Jonathan Taylor. Who else? Is
they all play one position?
3. Huh?
They all play one position. Deebo plays every position.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, I'll give him votes. All right. There's no way that the NFL is going to anoint Deebo Samuel, Dre. Okay.
How are you? No. Let's
Dre, Dre, you want to put $100 on it? You want to put $100 on it?
Yeah, I will. And I still want, and I won't pay you. That's right. So your mindset is like, okay, yeah, Tom Brady, Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp. I mean,
Cooper Kupp. Yeah. I was gonna say you put Cooper Kupp. Yeah, I mean he broke all the records and everything as far as that. Yes, Deebo Samuel is a person. I'm not taking anything from Deebo Samuel, right? I'm not taking anything away.
You can't.
No, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying an MVP. No, I'm not saying an MVP.
Man, he not even on the list.
I said, did you hear what I just said?
I didn't.
Okay, listen. I said he would get votes. That means he's on the list. All right, that's what I said.
Okay. Just checking, making sure.
Well, look, I mean,
let me say it again.
Jalen Reagor plays multiple positions, but he's not about to get MVP.
You got to play the position well.
Well, our listeners, man, please email us at enough said crew at gmail.com and tell me you say the Deebo MVP category. I say he is.
Yeah, he is MVP.
No, but he won.
No, he's not. No. Mike, you got to say, Mike, come on now. Now, I understand where Dre's coming from. Yes, he's on the list, but he's not an MVP. Come on, Mike, talk to me.
Well, I mean,
come on, no. As a fan,
the way the league works, that it's going to be they always going to put like a quarterback or someone like that as an MVP. That's just how the league is. But man, if he keeps doing what he's doing in the next 2 games, I mean, I'm not sure when they actually select MVPs, but he is a one man. He's like almost Jordan. It was a one man show. That is like MVP.
It's MVP caliber on the list. All right, on the list. I got him on the list.
Yeah, definitely.
Not winning the MVP. That's just. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to be real. He's on the list. He's a beast.
But it's a strong argument, though. I mean, this is something that might change the NFL. When people start looking at receivers, him, Cordarrelle Patterson down in Atlanta. This is a hybrid receiver, running back, wide receiver.
Wait a minute, you're putting Cordarrelle Patterson in the MVP race too?
No, but
he's caliber. I mean, he's that type of model. You know what I mean?
Okay, I understand. So put Cordarrelle
league changing.
It is. I totally get it. Right. Yeah. I agree. But now you don't bring up Cordarrelle Patterson. I mean, he's pretty much the hybrid, just like Deebo saying. I'm not, but just all right. So Cordarrelle Patterson had a pretty good season. So you put him on the list?
I'll put him. No.
no, not this year. No,
he had a good season, but I don't think he had as much of an impact. But I think the message has been sent that you can expect other teams are going to follow that model. You're not going to start looking at
I
receivers
agree.
and saying we can do some trickery where our guys are running the ball, catching the ball, and doing all kinds of stuff.
But you don't want to get that one wide receiver, you know what I mean, that you put him in the backfield and he gets clobbered.
Yeah. That's the risk is you do too much with him.
Exactly.
but
I will say one thing Devo does well that people don't really know is that he blocks. It's those things that you don't see that he does very well. So it's a strong argument for him to be MVP. I don't think he would get it just because the way the league and the writers vote, for MVPs, it's always a quarterback's going to get it first before another position gets it. And then you still got players like TJ Watt, who was sacking people left and right that could be in the conversation too.
Yeah, he's on the list. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what it was. That you look at San Francisco. You brought up a great point, Mike. It's the intangibles that they do well. It's the blocking. It's the formatting. It's the game plan call. Everything just comes well together when a team is well coached and the players know what they're doing and what position. So yeah. I mean, more power to them. They had a great win last night, and man, Jermaine might be right. This may have been their shot. If they win in this, might give them a shot at going to the Super Bowl. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. Just like I told Mike before we got on the podcast, I said, look, they got the best shot of beating the Rams or the Bucks and going to the Super Bowl. I'm not taking anything away from them. What's going on? What I saw last night and how they grind it out and everything. I don't see. And you got to put them at the top of the list and saying, hey, they're a favorite to go to the Super Bowl and win the way they're playing.
And Mike didn't even realize he said Devo for the next 2 games. See how he does with MVP. So there you go. Mike already got it subconsciously in his mind. He said 2 more games. He already said 2 games. That means they're in the Super Bowl. So
this is my thing too. How we go back and we talk about the wide receiver. I say, you put that one wide receiver in there and you use him too much, he'll get clobbered. I mean, Debo, a couple times, ran out of the game. He's a little dinged up, that ankle looked like he was hobbling, and then he looked like he's trying to catch his breath when he got smacked and all that stuff. So it's a fine line of how you like you said, Mike, how you use them and whatnot. Right. And I think San Fran is doing a good job as far as just throw Debo in the backfield and then that's it and whatnot. But they're using him, but I don't know. Is he 1-2 plays away to saying, hey, you know what I mean? Because you still coming in that middle fighting with those linebackers and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Right. Especially running the ball when you get past the line and stuff. So
yeah. All right, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So. All right, well, let's move it on. We got a lot to get to today. We talk about the team who would go to the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the team who won't, and that's the Eagles.
Win.
Go ahead,
do you know what the number 78.4 is?
Radio station.
Yeah. That was Tom Brady's completion percentage against the Eagles. He completed 78.4.
I thought it was higher, Sal.
That is the highest ever in a playoff.
I thought they can't even record it.
I mean, the Eagles had 17 rushing attempts Sunday. That was it. When the Eagles have run the ball 22 times or fewer in a playoff game, they are 0-16. When they run 23 times or more, they are 23-8. This team's far away, guys. I mean, they're not even close. What is going on, man? Jermaine, what is happening with these Eagles?
Well, it's a wait and see in this offseason, Sal. And I think Dre can agree with me. It's a wait and see of what they're actually going to do. I mean, the way the season started, it started on the high, apparently, what Dre was saying on the high when they went 1-0, and then in the middle of the season, it just went downhill, and then they came back up. But, they got a lot of question marks. What are we going to do at the quarterback position? What are we going to do as far as getting another wide receiver to help Devontae Smith? Is Dallas Goedert that answer? Then we go on defense. Are we going to get a bona fide linebacker? You know what I mean? We need another safety. We need another corner. You got 3 picks, and I'm so tired because if I was another fan, I would say, yeah, I would have been on board with these 3 picks. But here we go. We don't know how to draft. Howie doesn't know how to draft. The Eagles, period, don't know how to draft. So when everybody keeps saying we got 3 picks, what are we gonna do with them? I always said it in the middle of the season of our podcast. We're gonna screw it up. We're gonna find a freaking way to screw this thing up. I will be surprised if they come out with some bona fide player and not give up their 3 picks. Or at least one of the picks. They're gonna screw this up. You know what's gonna happen? They got these 3 picks, and I make a bold prediction that every time that the Eagles are on the clock, oh well, they bounced out of the first round. They traded their first round pick, and and they go to and now they're in the second or third. It's just it's frustrating, and it's mind. It really doesn't make sense. And you try to understand Philly, and Philly doesn't want to be understood and stuff. And it's just, what are you going to do? What are you going to do besides just sit there and it's like I said, it's a wait and see on how they're going to screw this up.
Yeah. Well, right now it looks like they have, those 3 picks and they're number 15, 16, and 19. So, Mike, how do they become more like the 49ers and not screw this thing up?
Wow. No, I guess you just have to draft well. And I think it's also drafting, not just what you get early, but what you get later. I mean, San Francisco got Elijah Mitchell. He's a start running back this year. He's in the 6th round.
What was Debo?
Debo was 2nd round.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's it. And some of those guys, like on the defensive line that did very well last night, I know they were late round picks. So I think it's going to be not necessarily how well you draft up front, but how well you draft deep in the draft and getting players that can contribute. They don't have to necessarily be superstars, but man, if they can just do the job and do it well, it's a team sport, kind of like the Patriots, just drafting guys that just do their job.
You're right, Mike. Let me clarify what I said when I said the first 3 draft picks. They don't know how to draft, period. Okay, they don't. They don't know how to draft, period. In this whole draft, from 1 to 7, they don't know how to draft, period. So let me write that. So you're right. You're right. They got to draft well in the late rounds because just like you said, with your players that came, Elijah Mitchell, 6th round pick. I mean, come on, man. Come on. They would have never, if Elijah Mitchell was sitting there, they'd have never picked him. Sorry, they'd have never picked Elijah. Yeah. Said Elijah who? You know what I mean? So it's like, come on. So who do you go? Do you go with Howie Roseman or do you go with the scouting team that's supposed to be, that's supposed to be in the mix as far as, looking out, scouting the college players and stuff? Is it Howie or do you fire Howie or do you fire the scouting team?
Right. I think the other thing is it also depends on the coach and what direction he envisions for the team. What's the identity of the team? Right. And then from there, you could kind of build. Since this is his first year and he took over players that came in from before, he didn't have a big say in it. So, that was one thing I noticed with the Niners and how they drafted. They said, we want to be strong up front from the get-go. Defense, they took – when they had all those first-round picks, first pick was always a defensive lineman. And that seems to be the MO is they want to be tough on defense first of all, and then after that build from there. Yeah. So I think the Eagles, if they can figure out that identity, I think that'll maybe help them draft better. And if they're going to be a power run team, then build around that. If you're going to be offensive juggernaut, then build around that. If you're just going to be a tough defensive team first and foremost, build around that.
Well, good luck to us.
Jalen Hurts the guy, Dre. What do you think?
Well, week 1 he was, but after that, no. No, I actually, when I look at him, I don't even think he knows. He don't even know how to read plays. I don't get him. I don't. He just got to go. Honestly.
Well, here's
I guess I'll be on your Minshew train. That's what I'll be. Yeah, I'll be on that. Start him.
Yeah, start Minshew and make Jalen. Yeah, start Minshew and make Jalen Hurts the next Taysom Hill.
Yeah. Because when we get to the Sal, when we get to the part about grading, I'll tell you what my Eagles are. Okay, so
we're getting to that next. But here's a quote from Howie about Jalen. He says, "We talk about Jalen and the growth he had. Let's just chew on that for a second. Really, first year starter, second year player, leading this team to the playoffs. Tremendously impressed by his work ethic and his leadership. Last time we talked was during training camp, and we wanted to see him take the bull by the horns, and he certainly did that. How? What improvements did you see from Jalen? Okay, yeah, his completion percentage went up. Fine. Okay, all right, yeah, he made it to the playoffs. They got 4 wins last year. The only way was up. Okay, they had an easy schedule. You know, I mean, let's not make too much of this thing. They beat the Washington. They beat Giants. I mean, those are the teams that they beat. They're better than the terrible teams in the league. Am I off base too much, guys? Tell me.
Jalen Hurts is only as good if you keep it if you don't put the whole game on his shoulders. That's how good. If you put the whole game on his shoulders and you see what happened in the playoffs against Tampa and stuff, that's when you see that Jalen Hurts is saying, "Okay, Jalen's got to go." But
Mm-hmm.
if they do, it goes back to what Mike was saying with the identity. Who's to say that they're going to come back next year and, well, yeah, we're going to run the rock like we did last year? This could be a whole 180. You know what I mean? And then here we go going back in the air because I guess, quote unquote, we got a bona fide another wide receiver and whatnot. So we really got an aerial attack. So uh, Jalen Hurts is only as good if you don't put the whole game on his shoulders. That's just me. He doesn't have a strong arm. Yes, he depends on his legs. You get his legs away. You saw what happened when he got a beat up, when he got his ankle and other stuff. Then that was it. But if you're expecting Jalen to throw the ball and win the game, 2 minutes left, and you're expecting him, you're down by, you need a touchdown. You're expecting him to charge down the field. You're not going to get it. You're not. So that's where the question mark is at.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's get into these. Dre had mentioned, these position grades, right? So,
Hmm.
We could go through all these positions here. We'll just kind of go through quickly. All right, let's start with the quarterback. Giving him a grade, obviously A being the best, F being the worst. So, Dre, let's start with you. Quarterback position, what's the grade?
So actually, I have a funny grade legend that I
All
want
right,
to bring
do it,
up.
man.
So
He asked you for
A,
a grade, okay? Asked
why
you
don't you
for a grade.
why don't you just shut up? A,
All right, he already gave you the graph. All right, so this whatever what you had.
no, if you shut up and listen,
Why
I
don't
mean
you
you.
turn on your camera, Dre? Oh my
So
God.
so we have here, and A is for achieve. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you have PS for progress satisfactory. So that means satisfactory progress and is expected to achieve the
What are
goal.
we at in
Okay.
elementary school? What are we
Yeah,
doing? What are we
yeah.
doing,
Check it out.
man?
Exactly,
Confused
exactly.
already. I'm lost.
I
P,
even put
exactly.
PS.
PG. Listen. PG. They're making less than anticipation progress, but may
Jesus.
still achieve the goal. Okay.
All
Then
right.
you got PI, progressively inconsistently. Okay, making inconsistent progress and make not achieve the goal. And we talk about quarterbacks. That's where Hurts is at. He's a PI. Okay, he is inconsistent progress and may not achieve the goal. Okay, as a team, I have Philadelphia as a team. Going through my notes, I have them as a PG. They're satisfactory progress and is expected. I'm sorry, wrong one. They're making less than the anticipation progress, but still may achieve the goal.
It feels
Okay,
like I'm in my son's conference room with his
exactly,
teacher.
exactly, man. Yeah,
All right,
and
so as
then
I said, Jermaine, A through F.
no, man. Seriously, think about it. I
Hey, man,
mean, I
this
mean,
is some
I
good
mean,
stuff, man.
I mean, think about it. So I gave Jalen Hurts a PI. Okay, all right, and the team got a PG. And I just want to continue with the team. All right. So like the Giants, they're called NA, not even achieved. Okay. They haven't even achieved the goals. That's the Giants. All right. The Washington football team, I kind of said they were in the middle with the Eagles, anticipating progress, but they may not achieve a goal. And your Cowboys, and Jermaine's going to get mad at me, but I'm going to say they're a PI. They're inconsistently progress and may not even achieve the goal. So that's how I feel about the NFC East and the Eagles, Washington Redskins. I mean, excuse me, Washington football team and the Giants. But
C for choke for the Cowboys. Forget that.
yeah. So
I got
that's
a
mine.
headache. I got a headache with that legend. I
Dude.
really
Yeah,
do.
I know because it's a little under your your IQ. So
I got
that's
a
why I
headache.
brought it down to your level, so you understand elementary. So that's what I did for you. So now you understand
No,
the
I just
grading
got
system.
I got a headache.
I need like a cheat sheet with
I
that.
need
Can
some
you
more
just
apple
send me
cider
that?
vinegar, Dre.
That's just mine. You can only go through A through F. You can do it. Go ahead, Mike or Jermaine. Go ahead. What's your quarterback grade on Jalen Hurts?
You go,
Mike,
Jermaine.
go.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I haven't seen enough of the Eagles to really give them a grade. I mean, for what I've seen, I would say Jalen Hurts is probably I guess I would say a C minus. He had some positive plays, but mostly negative, and I'm not sure what direction he's going. If he's going to get better or get worse. So I would say he's below mediocre, slightly below mediocre is my impression of things.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, PI.
Oh my God.
Inconsistent progress and may not achieve the goal. That's your C minus.
You
There
mean
you go.
you mean an IP, not a PI,
No,
IP, right?
no, PI, PI.
No, because you said inconsistently progressive, right?
No, no, progressive
All
inconsistency.
right, then. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a headache. All right.
Yeah, I know it's hard for you. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
I
okay.
know. Yeah, okay. All right.
So Jermaine, what was your grade for the
Well,
quarterbacks?
I'm trying to figure
Over.
out. Yeah, I'm trying to. I can't believe Tracy. Anyway, okay, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I agree with Mike. It's a C minus. It's a C minus. We don't know. Obviously, they're saying they're going to keep Jalen Hurts, but it remains to be seen. So I don't know if they're blowing smoke, smoke in our ears or smoke in our eyes or whatever. But yeah, C minus. As a team, I'm giving them probably a C plus, low B, B minus, C plus as a team, because if they would just stay to where and have the identity of running the rock, and not keeping it in the hands of a quarterback that can't make it. So, um, and then if they can get a bona fide defensive stud on that defense, yeah, I'm looking, low B or early C as far as that. Now the other teams, I don't know if we're going to do the other teams. Dallas is, yeah, that's who they are. That's who they are. I mean, yeah, they won the division and everything. They won the division, but when they come into the playoffs, what happens? Boom. Washington Redskins. I mean, Ross came on, and that's just enough. That's enough said. I don't even know that's a complete F bomb. You know what I mean? So that team just needs to get blown away. Giants.
Pass.
Yeah, that's a pass. Yeah, I don't know. I have no
NA.
idea. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, NA. Yep. Yeah,
Not
that's the only.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember on your legend, Dre, is NA.
Mike, what do you got?
Yeah. I guess for the Giants, I guess are NA or incomplete, or because I mean they went from an F to incomplete because they blew up the whole thing. I mean, they fired the GM, fired the coach. I mean, they really need to fire the quarterback. How do you get a guy? Yeah, a guy from Duke. Yeah, a lot of football history there.
Grant Hill.
That's what I said. I said Grant Hill. He don't even
Oh my God.
Duke football, really?
Don't forget Lambeer.
Lambeer's from Duke.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember.
He is. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
he is. Right?
Christian Laettner. All right.
There you go. There's
Go ahead,
another one.
Mike.
I was gonna say I think grades. The Cowboys, Cowgirls, we want to call them. I guess you got to give them a C because the choke. And that's really it. It's any progress or positives that came out of this season when they got to the playoffs, they lost, and it's all for nothing. And I think the future of that team is just so shady because they have so many bad losses in the playoffs and so much hype behind them. And then that crazy owner they got, I don't know. I think they're going to be unstable. And I think the Eagles have probably the best chance to continue building and take control of that division. I think Washington is still they had no quarterback, and I don't know where they're going to get a quarterback, and I think that's always going to hold them back. So yeah, I think Washington probably got like a C minus this year. I think the Eagles, if I had to give them a grade, I would say probably a B, maybe B minus. Probably I would say a solid B. I mean, Troy Aikman said they didn't beat anybody to get in the playoffs, but you know what? They beat teams. You beat who we're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
And that's a bad team wouldn't do that. So they just they're right there that they just got to be able to get to the next level. But I mean, it's a first year coach, and I think that's a positive. I think they can do well next year.
Yeah, and when you said like coach, I'll give a grade on Nick Sirianni. I'm still using my elementary grade here, but when you said identity, they need to find identity. I'm going to say NI. That means not introduced. The objective or benchmark has not yet been introduced. So that's how I feel with Nick right now. He's still trying to figure it out.
So it goes back to with Nick Sirianni. You know what I mean? When we hired Nick, it's like, who the hell is Nick Sirianni? Right. And like I said, I compared it to Andy Reid because we said the same thing with Andy Reid. Who the hell is Andy Reid? And Andy Reid did what he had to do in Philly until he got bounced out. So I'm on board with Nick, because his first year you get the team to the playoffs. I don't think Andy did that his first year, right, Sal?
No,
he did not. Yeah, he did not. He got him. He didn't get him there. So that's a plus for Nick. To get him your first year, you get him. You get him to the playoffs. Although Chip Kelly did too. So I mean, this thing could go either way. So
I think Sirianni to some degree did it with not the most amount of talent. I mean, they had some decent guys, but I honestly can't think of someone on a team that's like a real star player, like someone you would sell tickets around. I mean, it's
Hunter.
I mean, yeah, man. Chip had a handicap. That was still Andy Reid's team. So,
Well, right. I'll say this. I got to go along with Dre's theme here. I got MI, most improved. All right. So Sanders is only one of three players in NFL history with 2,000 rushing yards, a 5.0 average, and 100 receptions in their first three seasons. Gainwell netted 599 scrimmage yards on 107 touches. That was the fourth most scrimmage yards in the league this year by a running back with 107 or fewer carries, and by far the most of any rookie. So they got two running backs here, and you throw Boston Scott into that. I do think they're set at the running back position if they hang on to those guys. I'll give them that. The running back position they seem to nail. You go back to Shady when they drafted McCoy, and for whatever reason, they do seem to get good running backs. Is that a product of the offensive line? Maybe. I mean, the Eagles do have an improved offensive line too. So, we'll see what happens. My grades real quick, I give the Eagles a C. I still think there's room for improvement. They have a young nucleus. Let's see what happens. I think a lot will depend on the draft this year. Giants, I'm passing on. That's just a P. Washington, same thing. They are NA. We'll use Dre's grade for that. And and who am I missing here? Yeah, our Dallas Cowboys, and I'll go with the C. And we'll leave them with the choke with that. I was going to give them an X, but I know Jermaine would get upset with that. So, All right, let's wrap this puppy up. It's time to play Hell Yes or Hell No. So I'm going to give you guys a statement. You got to tell me hell yes or hell no. You guys ready to play this? All right.
Oh, yeah.
I can feel it.
I don't know.
All right. Dre, the Eagles will win more than 5 games next season. Hell yes or hell no?
Hell yes.
All right. Jermaine, Rodney McLeod will get more than 2 interceptions next season. Hell yes or hell no?
Hell no, because he won't be on the team this season.
Mike, 49ers will need Trey Lance before the end of this season. Hell yes or hell no?
Ooh, man. Dang. I'm going to say hell no. The way he's looking like, I think it's Jimmy G or bust. Yeah, I'd say hell no.
All right. Dre, the second round here. Joel Embiid will get a championship ring. Hell yes or hell no?
hell no to the third power.
No, he's not getting one. All right.
No.
Oh,
No.
hey, Sal, real quick.
Yeah.
They will need Trey Lance. They'll just need to get his ring size.
Oh man,
I like it.
yeah, Sal putting it. I mean, Mike putting it out there. Okay.
Oh, man.
with the
Jermaine.
like with the whole Sixer issue and all that, not right now. Hell no for Embiid.
All right. Jermaine, Ben Simmons will get traded before the deadline. Hell yes or hell no?
Hell no, they're gonna rot. He's gonna rot.
He's going to rot?
Yeah, he's not gonna get traded this season. He's not.
All right. Mike, LeBron, he'll win another championship. Hell yes or hell no? And he's all toast and done.
Ooh, I say hell no.
Hell no? All right.
Hell no.
You think LeBron?
Hell
Hell no.
no.
Hell
Amen
no.
to that.
Yeah,
All
no.
right.
And no Bennett's getting two out of the 4 that he got. So.
Man. All right, last round here. Dre, you ready,
Yeah.
bud?
Yeah.
Ron will get that steak dinner from Jermaine in 2022. Hell yes or hell no?
Hell yes.
All right, Jermaine, Ron will get that picture frame and a $100 bill from Dre in 2022. Hell yes.
Hell no.
Yeah, no.
Hell no.
Yeah. Well, he just answered it for me. You know what?
All right, Mike, Jimmy G will be the starter for the Niners next year. Hell yes or hell no?
Who's that?
Jimmy G will be the starter for the Niners next year. Hell yes or
You
hell
heard him.
no?
Hell yes.
You think
Hell
he's
yeah,
gonna
he's coming back next year.
Oh, you said Jimmy? I think you said Trey.
No,
Oh no, Jimmy G.
Oh no, hell no.
Hell
No,
no, Jimmy G? All right.
no. Even if he wins the Super Bowl, I think he's still going to get traded. It just make him more attractive. But no, I think he's going somewhere else.
And could he go to Philadelphia?
No,
No.
Hell
No.
No,
I still
don't.
I don't know.
I still think he's on to Pittsburgh, but
You
we'll
know how
see.
Philadelphia they surprise you. They probably will go after him.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what, Dre? I take that back because when they got what's his name, what is his name? When Chip Kelly came in and they traded that quarterback, what is his name? You know what I'm talking about, right, Sal? Sam Bradford.
Sam
There you
Bradford.
go.
Yeah, Sam Bradford.
Man, Sam Bradford came in. I said, "What the hell are they doing?
You're
What
right,
are they
you're
doing?"
right.
Sam Bradford came in. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right, Dre. Yeah, we're getting Jimmy G next year. Yep.
Yeah, we're getting Jimmy G.
Oh my God.
Washington might pick him up.
Oh,
That's
yeah. I ain't
that's
thinking about
other-
that.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Hey.
What would you do if you got Aaron Rodgers? You guys.
Aaron is
Well,
not
I know he's
I thought about that too last night, Mike. Like the way he was walking off the field and the way he would look. I said Eagles will go after him. But the problem is though he don't got no. I mean he got Smith. He got Devontae Smith, just like one dimensional again with Devontae Adams. But
Well,
Devontae Adams is much better than Devontae Smith right now.
But Adams is a free agent though.
He's going.
And
that's right.
Aaron,
That's
if
right.
Aaron
Word
is
is he'll
going,
go-
Devontae's going. Yeah.
Right.
Then
he would go where Aaron goes.
Yeah.
You know that's a package.
look,
Yeah.
the way Philadelphia did, I would not be surprised if they try to go after Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't.
I mean, they try to go after everybody. They try to go after Jalen Ramsey. They try to go after Clowney. All those guys. Remember those big time free agents? Oh yeah, the Eagles were in the mix. Eagles in the mix and all that stuff. And then nothing never came about. So,
That's because they didn't want to come to Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
They didn't want to come
How many
come
people
to Philly.
want you,
Yeah,
man?
you're right. Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's wrap this up real quick, like 30 seconds to a minute here. What's on your mind? Mike, I know what's on your mind, but tell us anyway. Go ahead, man.
Oh, just keep winning. Keeping the faith. That's all I can do right now. It's just this is definitely not what I expected out of this season, especially halfway through. But man, I guess this is what it's all about when it comes to the NFL. Just making the most you can and having the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jermaine, what's on your mind, man?
My son being the next Michael Jordan, he had 8 points last night, yesterday in the basketball game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, he's coming to himself, and that's what's on my mind. Just
Did y'all win the
him.
championship?
Nah, not yet. No,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool.
Don't
Cool.
interrupt me. Don't interrupt me.
What? That's because you give him more playing time than everybody else.
I mean, dang, man, you told me to interrupt. Do you know what, man? you know, your son's LeBron. Then he ain't gonna be nothing.
Surprised you didn't have a parent get mad at
I
you and
think,
say
yeah, right.
son has the ball too much. He's shooting too much.
Yeah, now he's
Not-
shooting too much. Nah, just
Trey,
grooming
what's on your-
him, making him,
Yeah.
making him. But grades come first. So,
Yep.
Mhm.
That's right.
yeah.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, that's why I try to instill him. But yeah, but that's on my mind. And then, being with you clowns on Sunday, it just makes it all better. On Sunday.
Trey, what's on your mind, man?
Just basically our prediction recap. We didn't really talk about the Bengals.
You have any more initials for your legend?
No. maybe for you, but so
Dope.
so check this out. So looks like me and Mike are ahead tied going in for today because we picked Bengals in San Fran. Oh, Sal, you picked the Bengals too.
Yeah, I picked the Titans.
Yeah, you picked the Titans, so you scratch that, and Jermaine scratch you. So, and then going into for today's game, we have I picked Tampa Bay. We all picked Tampa Bay. So we'll see what happens with there. And then we got all Buffalo except for Mike. He has Kansas City. So, man, I mean the Bengals now. The Bengals are going to go against either Buffalo or KC, right? So let me ask y'all real quick: who's in the AFC Championship, Buffalo or Kansas City? They go against the Bengals.
Buffalo.
I got Buffalo.
Yeah, and I still think Kansas City, but that championship game is going to be interesting because I think Cincinnati beat Buffalo, and I think they beat Kansas City this year.
Right.
So man, my wife's best friend, her son is a big Bengals fan, and honestly, he was almost in tears watching them get as far as they have. I mean, if you think about that franchise and just bad football for years and to get to where they got, I mean, it is something special. So man, it's hard to imagine them in the Super Bowl, but they can really do it. They're playing hot, man. That's what you gotta be, hot at the right time.
That's what I was saying because I got the Bengals going all the way. They're the hottest team. I'm kind of also agreeing with Jermaine. They're young and they could be a future. But let's see if either Kansas City or Buffalo. Well, I would say the better matchup would be
It would be
Buffalo.
Kansas City.
I think
Yeah. Right. My
it
gut
would be
saying the
Kansas
better
City.
matchup would be Kansas City
Yeah,
with
Kansas
the
City,
Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a better matchup.
But that's what's on my mind, man. And we'll remain the scene and stuff. So it's awesome. And then we all say Tampa Bay and San Fran's waiting. So we all say Tampa Bay. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, next podcast, man, keep coming up with those initials.
Yeah. Since it hurts your head, I have to go a little less for you. So
What should be on your mind is fixing your damn webcam. That should be what's on your mind.
Yeah.
No, don't get him hot. Don't get him hot, Sal. He had a good podcast. Don't get him hot.
That's an NA right there, man.
Yeah. I had to edit out the cuss words.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Towards the end.
That's a blooper reel right there.
Yeah.
That is something in all seriousness I want to do. So fans, keep your eye out. I will release. We do have some outtakes which are pretty funny because I don't think our the people that listen to us know this, but we get on a little bit before this, test the mics and everything, and some funny stuff happens when we get on initially and we start testing the microphone. So one of these weeks I'll start releasing it, and it is hilarious. So keep your eye out for those bloopers. They are funny. I think we had one where Jermaine was screaming at his kids, and we had to cut that out. So it was an adventure, man. We had some good stuff.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So, but yeah, keep those emails coming in, guys. Thank you. It is enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com. And we want to keep them coming in. We thank everybody, as always, for listening to our podcast and all our fans. We do appreciate it. We do this because we love it, but it's because of you that we can do this every week. So thank you, guys. And, of course, the crew here, Mike, he's been every week, man. This guy's coming up with ideas. He's been consistent. So thank you. Jermaine, nice
thanks,
work,
Mike.
man, coming in every week and just, talking like you do best, just want to say.
And actually, to probably lead on to the next podcast, listen to you, Jermaine. If the Rams win today, right?
Yeah.
and you were talking about why what's the name gets all this credit, right?
Sean McVay. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you compare him to Brett Favre? Like,
Who Sean McVay?
yeah. In other words, like you saying Brett Favre should not be in the Hall of Fame, since Sean McVay should be like this caliber
Yeah, I mean,
pedestal
I think
coach.
I think everybody anointed Sean McVay. It's still too early. I mean, yeah, okay, he went to the Super Bowl, but then he choked. I mean, you see, when they put the camera on him, he had this straight stare on his face, like, "Oh, well, what do I do next?" Yeah, I would put him. Yeah, I put him in the same
But they
category.
just got him so up there, and
Yeah, I
Sean
know.
McVay,
He's a
and if,
genius.
you
Yes.
know and if they beat the goat, wow, man, they're really gonna put Sean up there.
Yeah, I know. But still, I mean, all kidding aside, I mean, everything aside, I would still take Kyle Shanahan over. I would still take Kyle Shanahan over Sean McVay
Sean.
because Kyle has a history. I mean, his father was a coach. I mean, he was a mastermind of San Fran back in the day. With not George Seifert, but Bill Walsh. He was under Bill
Yeah.
Walsh, right? Yeah, he was under Bill Walsh. So he really didn't get a lot of attention, Mike Shanahan, until he got until he got a job and all that stuff. But yeah, he was pretty much part of the mastermind back in the day. So
Right.
yeah, Kyle, if you want to anoint a genius or whatever, I mean, Jesus, I mean,
Well,
I
I
get
find it interesting that Washington at one point had Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, and Matt LaFleur all on the coaching staff.
Wow.
Wow.
And then you look at where they all went
Yeah.
as, I guess you say the young coaches. I don't think McVay, I would say, is a genius, but that team is definitely a lot better with him than without him.
Oh yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
that division is just a tough division altogether.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with coaching. So I mean, if they should win and get to the Super Bowl this year, I mean that's what 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, I think, for them.
Yeah.
And then if Kyle gets there, that's 2 Super Bowls in 4 years for him. So yeah, good job for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Yep. I just wanted to bring that in before we close out, Sal.
All right, no, good stuff, man. And look, I say bring back Mike Singletary. I want winner. I say bring him back, man. And just keep in mind, they said Chip Kelly was a genius too. I'll close with that.
Man, we keep saying closing. Isn't it amazing how Burrow, right, threw for 348 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick, right? And it's like another thing, like how that team won. They're just like, you look at the stats with San Fran, like they won. You know what I mean? And the key point was Tannehill made those interceptions. That's what killed Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 9 sacks.
Yeah, 9 sacks, and that's wiped off the board. I mean, like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? You had 9 sacks. So what? You lost. I mean, yeah. I don't know what Vabel must be still sitting there with his coat on, just sitting there and just looking at a blank screen like somebody else I know.
He's in a straitjacket now.
Yeah. He's saying, I got to upgrade quarterback position. That's exactly what he said. He looked at that game and just said, yep, we got to get somebody else.
Add this to your legend, Dre. BS. All right.
Oh, man.
That's all the way down your report. BS.
This is a child-friendly show, people.
Is it? Well, look, guys, it's awesome, man. As always.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. We are going to be back 2 weeks from now. And is it Super Bowl Sunday? Are we in between Super Bowl? What are we back on?
It'd be Pro Bowl weekend.
Yeah, Pro Bowl weekend.
So right before Super Bowl. So we'll be able to talk Super Bowl predictions when we come back. So, all right, good stuff, guys. As always, thank you very much. And we will see you next time.
All right.
All right, peace.
See you.